U.S. President Donald Trump's chief negotiator, Jason Greenblatt, was scheduled to arrive in Israel late Monday, just days after Trump met separately in New York with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas, and reiterate his commitment to work toward a comprehensive agreement. Well, several sources are confirming, with that said, that the U.S. administration, or Donald Trump, is about ready to unveil a big Middle East peace plan. And here's the article from Business Insider. And here's another one also from Al Monitor. It says that is Trump about to reveal his Middle East peace plan. Now I'm going to read a little bit from the report from Business Insider. It says both Israel and Palestinian officials believe President Donald Trump is prepping a big Middle East peace plan that could be unveiled within weeks. Meetings at the UN General Assembly last week convinced both Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that Trump was serious about a peace plan. In a sideline meeting at the UN before Abbas addressed to the body, Trump reportedly told the Palestinian leader that the U.S. is close to putting the final touches on a plan, according to Al Monitor. It was a good talk, perhaps the best President Abbas has had with Trump, an anonymous Palestinian source told Al Monitor. The Palestinian leader appears to take Trump seriously. The Palestinian Authority, which governs the Palestinian territories, has agreed to wait for the U.S. proposal before taking any significant diplomatic steps, according to Harzet. Trump conveyed his seriousness about this. The Americans are preparing a plan, and I presented our position to the president, Netanyahu told a meeting of his security cabinet, according to a separate report by Haaretz. Trump is very determined and wants to reach the ultimate deal. However, the U.S. proposal may run into trouble on the Israeli side. Netanyahu's laconic, matter-of-fact report appeared designed to inform his top ministers to get ready for a diplomatic initiative that Israel's right-wing government is unlikely to be able to accept, and that Netanyahu will likely be unable to oppose. But Israel also seems to be preparing for a U.S. peace proposal. At the same meeting, according to the Jerusalem Post, Netanyahu delayed a decision on settlement housing and discussed possible economic gestures toward the Palestinians. Trump's team for the Israeli-Palestinian peace process is led by Jason Greenblatt, the White House Special Representative for International Negotiations and Senior White House Advisor, and Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. Greenblatt reportedly arrived in Israel on Monday. Well, we here at Bible Prophecy at the Calvary Prophecy Report have been looking for the peace process to go forward and to finally bring about a Middle East peace proposal that will ultimately last for 7 years and will include many and most likely with the Palestinian Authority. Now, is Mr. Trump going to bring that peace to the Middle East? Well, we don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. He says he's weeks away from implementing it and to bringing it forward. We'll have to wait and see if that's actually the case, but this is quite positive news. And if in fact the Netanyahu administration has conceded that there will ultimately be peace, that tells me that this agreement is imminent. Now, on the war side of the Middle East, here's an article by Foreign Policy Magazine. It says that Israel is going to war in Syria to fight Iran. And the subheading, it says Israel officials aren't shying from confronting Tehran's forces since no one else will. So this unabated surge of troops from Iran and I'm sure Iraq and Hezbollah and Syria finally has gotten Israel to say, you know what, we're going to have to take care of this business and push Iran and the other Islamic nations that have come into Syria, along with their terrorist groups, out of Syria so that we can be safe again. Now, whether or not that will happen before this peace process does ultimately take hold, that is unknown. But, the Bible says that at some point in time, Israel will be living in peace and safety when a Russian-led Islamic war machine will rest on Israel's northern border. And the Bible says in Ezekiel 38, it says that this spoil that these nations will come after will be so strong and will be so irresistible that it will be like hooks in Russia's mouth, that they simply will not be able to let this opportunity go by, and they will have to join their Islamic partners in this war. And many, if not all, of the nations, at least the major nations, are in Syria right now. If you look at it from a biblical standpoint, Russia, Iran, Turkey, there have been reports that Russia is training Libyan forces and others in Syria. And that's just one more nation that is included as being said to join in on this attack. So if nothing else, the major players are there when this attack finally goes down. These other nations will be all too eager to jump in and help Russia destroy Israel. But we know in the end that the Bible says that God will intervene in this war, and he will miraculously destroy all the armies. In fact, they'll fight against each other. And when it's all said and done, the Bible says that 5/6 of this army will be destroyed, and they will run back to their nations, never to come back. Now, when will this war take place? Well, there's really no indication. We just know it's in the last day. And it could be anywhere from the beginning of the tribulation period to the end. But one of the stipulations of this war, the Bible says, that Israel will be living in peace and safety. So it's most likely that after the tribulation period begins, after the peace is established, that this is when this war will take place. And as we speak, it is being reported that Iran, Turkey, and Russia are both, and we already know that Iran and Russia already have a strong relationship. So this military triangle will continue to grow and work toward fulfilling the prophecy found in Ezekiel 38, verse 4. So these are two major Bible prophecies slated for the end times that are taking place and converging during this last generation. And as these events do begin to converge, we do know that the rapture is imminent, and that could take place at any moment. And if you don't know the Lord, today is the day of salvation. 150,000 people will die today. The Bible says that the vast majority of them will end up in a burning hell. Don't let that happen to you. Come to the Lord, ask him to save you today. And you Christians, don't forget about my Tribulation Period Survival Guide. I have a free version, which is written in 9 different languages. It's digital. You can download it. Go down to the description section of this video. Follow the links, and it'll get you to where you need to go in order to get this free download. At that same spot, you'll also find there is a paperback book. Now, that does cost money, but it's the same book, same information, and that is somewhere in the neighborhood of $8 a book. But you do have to order that, and it is, like I said, a paperback book, so that when the rapture does take place, this will be the first book that your lost friends and loved ones will look for once the rapture does take place. So I implore you, don't let the world tell your lost friend or loved one how they should react or what they should do once the rapture takes place. Get them a copy of this book, either way, whether it be free or whether it be the paid version, so they will know exactly what is going to be happening in the next 7 years. Well, this is Terry Malone with the Calvary Prophecy Report.